What's happening, beautiful people? Happy Wednesday, everyone. It's Wednesday, 16th of September, and welcome to the European markets opening. Here's what you need to know in the markets today. European stocks seen lower ahead of Federal Reserve meeting. Hurricane Sally shifts from offshore U.S. Oil fields. Oil finally breaks out from the 37 mark. And today it's all about the Fed, guys. Fed meeting and the interest rate decision on the U.S. dollar. Let's have a quick look at the charts and see how the markets open today and what the markets have prepared for us today. Huge day in the economic calendar. I will share that with you in a couple of minutes. Very, very good day for trading, especially later on in the afternoon when huge volatility is expected. European stock markets are seen opening a little lower today as investors cautiously await for the Federal Reserve for guidance on the economy. Equity markets have largely regained their pose after last week's turmoil, mainly surrounding the tech sector, helped by upbeat economic data from China and the US, the two largest economies in the world. Recent news of out of Europe has also been encouraging, with Germany's ZW sentiment index, the first of the big gauges of sentiment to be released this month, defying expectations for a fall. Investors are looking to central banks for direction, and in particular the US Federal Reserve, which concludes a two-day policy meeting later on today, the first since adopting a more tolerant stance on inflation in August. The focus of the meeting will be at the operational consequences of average inflation targeting, wrote Nordea Martin Lund in a note. As the Fed needs to show a full AIT commitment, we see a clear risk of a hike in the current quantitative easing pace. Very statement coming from Nordea's Martin Lund. So, as I was saying, the Fed is due to announce its decision at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 1800 hours GMT. GMT plus 3 is going to be 2100 hours, followed by a news conference from Chairman Jerome Powell. The Bank of Japan and the Bank of England also announced their respective policy decisions. Will announce tomorrow. Moving on, economic data in Europe Center Wednesday around UK inflation numbers, with the country consumer price index climbing 0.2% on the year in August, a touch better than the 0.1 widely expected. Okay, this is what is happening. As I said, guys, it's all about the Federal Reserve today. And Hurricane Sally, guys. Hurricane Sally, very, very important news coming in. Hurricane Sally shifts from offshore U.S. Oil fields, heavy rains to damp fuel demand. Okay, this was released 19 minutes ago by Reuters on investing.com. So, Hurricane Sally crawled offshore along with the U.S. Gulf Coast on Wednesday, moving away from oil fields while soaking the region with heavy rains that could damp fuel demand in the U.S. Southeast. The hurricane has shut down more than a quarter of U.S. Offshore Gulf of Mexico oil and gas production and stirred heavy seas that closed ports from Louisiana to Florida. It moved at a snail's pace towards Wednesday landfall on the coast between Mississippi and Florida. While Sally's intensity lessened, it remained a Category 1 hurricane with 85 miles per hour, which is about 140 kilometers an hour winds. Oil and chemical ports along the Mississippi River were moving to reopen with restrictions, and some offshore operators were preparing to turn workers to offshore platforms on Thursday. Still early, guys. Let's see what will happen today and how big of an impact this hurricane will have on U.S. mainland. Now, quick look at what the Fed is expected to do today. But before that, guys, the trivia question of the day, as you got used by now. Where's the trivia question? There is the trivia question. So the question is, for how many hours per day is the CFDs market open? I'm waiting for your answers, guys. Type your answers. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you know the answer to this question, and I will reveal the answer anyway towards the end of the webcast. So again, the trivia question of the day: for how many hours per day is the CFDs markets open? Okay, right. This is the trivia question. Back to the news. So, The Federal Reserve is expected to wrap up its latest policy meeting today with somewhat rosier economic forecast, but a renewed pledge to keep interest rates low for as long as the world's biggest economy needs to recover from its deepest downturn in decades. The two-day meeting in the U.S. central bank's first under a newly adopted framework that promises to shoot for inflation above 2% to make up for periods such as now, where it is running below the target. The strategy means the Fed will not take its foot off the monetary gas pedal, even if unemployment continues to drop at a faster than expected pace. Fed officials don't appear ready to translate the framework into an explicit promise to keep the central bank's key overnight lending rate in its current range of 0 to 0.25% until certain economic benchmarks, say 2.5% inflation, are met. Okay, so for the ones of us that were expecting the Federal Reserve to raise the interest rates today, let's see if that's going to happen. Right, okay, so the rate-selling Federal Open Market Committee is scheduled to release its policy statement and a summary of fresh economic projections at 1800 hours GMT or 2100 hours GMT plus 3. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell is due to hold a virtual news briefing half an hour later. Okay, so let's move on and have a quick look at the charts and see how the markets moved on the Asian session and how the markets moved today at the European opening. We see oil proudly trading at 39.05, guys. Finally, oil has managed to break the $37 mark, in which was stuck for about a week. Okay, and last night we witnessed a breakout from the 37.57 or the 38 level, trading all the way at 39.06. Okay, tiny correction should be expected today, and let's see. Hopefully, with some more good news coming from the States, with some more good news coming in regards to Hurricane Sally and the situation in the Gulf of Mexico. Hopefully, oil will push a bit higher today. Hopefully, targeting the $40 mark. Okay, but again, it's too early to predict that, to say that for sure, guys. Okay, so allow the markets to show you the way. Let's have a look at the European currencies. Let's see what the euro is doing today. Come on, chart. Okay, let me refresh the charts, guys, and see. Okay, there you go. The website is temporarily down for maintenance, but no problem. We can check it on our MT4 trading platform. I will take a couple of live positions later on today. Meanwhile, let's get back to Hurricane Sally and see where is Hurricane Sally heading to now. Okay, so Wednesday at 8 a.m. Eastern time is expected to hit mainland. It was expected to hit mainland a bit sooner, guys, but the wind speed didn't intensify till late last night. Right, residents of Gulf Coast communities are told to brace for flooding. Okay, apparently Hurricane Sally will miss Mississippi and we'll go through Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken. Let's read the article and see. Hurricane Sally continued its slow crawl toward land early Wednesday morning, with its outer bands lashing coastal communities with heavy rain and gusty winds as the center of the storm churned over the Gulf of Mexico. Shifting forecasts for Sally's path and warnings of devastating flooding have perplexed. And you see, guys, I had my coffee today. I can spell today, and unnerved many living on the Gulf Coast, with residents weighing the risk of hunkering down or fleeing before the worst of the storm arrives. Sally intensified into a Category 2 storm early on Wednesday with maximum sustained winds of 100 miles per hour, but is now expected to largely bypass Louisiana and Mississippi. The most recent forecasts show that the center of the storm was projected to make landfall close to Pensacola, which is in Florida, near the state's border with Alabama. Oh, no, my bad. Okay. Right, so this is what's happening with Hurricane Sally. It's not over yet. It will touch the land somewhere this afternoon, okay? And probably that will be felt in the price of of oil. Now, having a quick look at the charts, guys. Yeah, let's have a look at Euro USD. There is the Euro. Let's look at it on an hourly chart and see how the Euro moved overnight. Right, we see the Euro dropping yesterday on the US session and then moving sideways on the Asian session. Positive opening for the Euro today. However, the stochastic is pointing downwards and the RSI is pointing upwards. So we have a bit of divergence between technical indicators. Let's have a look at the pound and see how the pound moved. Right, the pound is apparently starting a small downtrend today after a 3-day recovery. Okay, if you remember, Monday was trading very, very low and it managed to recover slightly since, but still trading way below the 200 moving average, which usually indicates a strong downtrend. Also, with the RSI and stochastic pointing downwards, guys, not a lot of good things seen on the horizon for the pound. Hey, let's have a quick look at gold and see how gold is doing. Gold didn't manage to get back to the $2,000 mark. However, it's currently trading at 1964 with, again, a positive view today and a positive opening this morning. Okay, pushing it higher towards the 1970 or, again, the 1980 level. Okay, let's have a quick look at AUD Canadian. The Aussie dollar, just like gold, done really, really well on the Asian session. Apparently, it pushed higher. And again, it's looking to push higher by the looks of it. Currently trading at 0.9639. Okay, but what's worth noting, guys, is that it's currently trading at its top resistance level, which is somewhere there in that region. Yeah, you can see it in the past. Every time it got to that level, it fell a bit, moving closer to the 50 moving average or the 200 moving average occasionally. This is what is happening. Let's have a quick look at your favorite, guys, which is Bitcoin, which is currently trading at 10,107. A slight drop overnight for Bitcoin, but we see more often Bitcoin reacting to the market conditions. Okay, I can still pin it down if it's reacting to the movement of the dollar, if it's reacting to the movement of oil. Okay, it moved. Sometimes it moved along with the dollar. Sometimes it moved along with oil or against the US dollar. So still, we can't pin it down. Now, let's take some trades today using the signals provided by our good friends at Forexy. Okay, again, you go on Forexy's website. At the top of the page, you click on market signals and you will have short-term signals, long-term signals with an entry price, a suggested stop loss, and a suggested take profit. Right, platinum buy 6 minutes ago on a daily chart. 12 minutes ago, gold is a buy position according to these guys on a 30-minute chart with an exit at 1981. That is the suggested exit for them. So let's see. I'm gonna go half a lot on gold. Buy position, as the guys at Forexy are suggesting. Now, what's worth noting, guys, is that no one can predict the market 100%. Okay, sometimes or many times the signals will work. Sometimes you will find that odd time when it won't work. Okay, there's no one to blame about it. The trading signals can only be created in a certain way. Yeah, you take into consideration technical analysis, you take into consideration the news, and you try and create the trading signals. But many times, any news that comes from after you've created the trading signal could potentially shift the direction of the market. Okay, so trading signals have usually about 70% accuracy. Some of them are a bit weaker. Okay, but they are worth trying out. Yeah, they are worth trying out. I still encourage you guys to know your deal, to do your technical analysis. Yeah, get the information from other sources as well, and use the trading signals as a confirmation to your personal opinions, let's say. Okay, now if gold is seen as a buy position, Let's see. 24 minutes ago, we had a sell signal on the pound versus the Aussie dollar on a 30-minute chart. Okay, let's have a quick look at GBP AUD. There it is. Okay, right. Let's check once again. JBP USD sell position on a 30-minute chart. Okay, it makes a bit of sense. So I'm going to go with a sell position on the pound. Okay, now I am thinking, no, I won't do it because I don't see the trading signal here. No, I won't do it. I won't get involved in any trades on oil today. Okay, now let's wrap it up for today, guys. Join me at 4:30 GMT plus 3, and let's see the US market opening together. Let's see how the trade went, and we're going to take it from there. Now, the answer to the trivia question, which was for how many hours per day is the CFDs market open? Okay, and the answer is almost 24/7. The market takes a 2-hour break late at night, between the US session closing and the Australian opening. Okay, but you can trade CFDs almost 24 hours a day, Monday to Friday. Yeah, it's worth noting that on Friday night, Friday afternoon, okay, the markets will close, and they will reopen on a Sunday evening in Europe when Sydney opens. Yes, so you can trade almost 24 hours per day, Monday to Friday. If you know the answer to the question, well done. If you didn't know the answer to the question, that is the whole point of having these trivia questions. You learn on the go, guys. Okay, this is it from my side. Join me at 4:30 GMT plus 3, and let's ring the bell together for the US opening. Until then, remember to trade responsibly, and may all your trades be in the money.